Every now and then when a new game is announced, like, this is gonna be the next big thing. Yeah, and then it drops, eats pavement, and sets fire to millions of dollars in dev time. Today, we're diving into the costliest, most expensive video game failures in history. Some of these games had hype through the roof, but in the end, they took a fat, expensive loss like, we're never seeing that money again kind of loss. Alright, let's get into the pain. Okay, so, you've got Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow. Literally the Avengers. And somehow, this still flopped harder than Hawkeye and a Team of Gods. Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics dropped a fat bag into this one. Big names, cinematic trailers, and the Marvel logo slapped on everything like it was golden glue. It was hyped as the ultimate co-op superhero experience. But when it launched, buggy, repetitive, grindy, and those character models, they looked like the stunt doubles of the stunt doubles. Anyway, players bounced fast, sales were underwhelming, and it became yet another live service game that nobody wanted to live in. And with the estimated loss of over $65 million, it sucks, because it could have been dope. You remember Defiance? No? Yeah, exactly. This was that weird MMO shooter TV show hybrid thing. Tryon Worlds cooked this up in 2013, alongside a sci-fi series. The idea? You play the game, and the show changes based on what happens. Cool in theory, but really bad in practice. The TV show limped along for 3 seasons, the game barely held a player base, and syncing game events with live TV? Yeah, what even is that pipeline? The whole thing was a logistical nightmare with lukewarm gameplay. They tried to reboot it later as Defiance 2050, but honestly, nobody asked for the sequel to a game they forgot existed. Another $70 million straight into the data void. Oh man, this one hurts, because Kingdoms of Amalur is honestly not a bad game. But behind the scenes, it was absolute chaos. This was backed by Kurt Schilling, a former pitcher who decided he wanted to make Skyrim, but with more crunch and debt. His studio, 38 Studios, took a massive loan from the state of Rhode Island, yes, the state, to fund the game. The result? An RPG with pretty solid combat, cool lore from R.A. Salvatore, and great artwork. But sales didn't break even, and the studio imploded. Like bankruptcy, lawsuits, all the bad legal stuff. It deserved better. But instead, it became the cautionary tale of letting baseball players run dev studios. Next is Tabula Rasa, with estimated loss of over $100 million. Do you know about the Ultima Online guy Richard Garriott? Studio gave him $100 million and said, go make the MMO of the future. And he went, cool, I'm doing aliens and sci-fi and also spiritual energy and maybe some space monks too. Yeah, that happened. It spent years in development hell, scrapped the engine halfway through, rebooted the entire game, and then dropped with zero identity. Nobody really understood what the game was. Sci-fi shooter? RPG? Space cult simulator? The end result? Weird, buggy, and just meh. It shut down in 2009, 2 years after launch, with a thud so quiet it was like the servers unplugged themselves. Imagine GTA Online, but if it released completely broken and died in 86 days. That's APB. All points Bulletin with estimated loss of over $100 million. This was the brainchild of David Jones, the dude who literally made the original Grand Theft Auto, so hopes were high. Open world MMO cops versus robbers with crazy customization? Sign me up. But when it dropped, the gameplay was janky, matchmaking made 0 sense. And balance? What's that? The studio spent years developing this thing, then released it in 2010, and the servers shut down like 2 months later. It's still one of the shortest-lived AAA MMOs ever, and the $100 million? Gone. Like your spawn killed in a laggy PvP lobby. Next is Redfall. Ah yes, the vampire looter shooter that bit itself in the neck, costing over $120 million. Arcane, the studio behind Dishonored and Prey, dropped this in 2023. People were hyped, cause it's Arcane. They make banger games. And then Redfall dropped, and we all went, wait, broken AI, bland world, missing features, enemies just standing around doing nothing. And worst of all, it was boring. How do you make vampire hunting feel like doing taxes in fog? Even Phil Spencer had to come out and be like, yeah, we took a fat L on this one. Okay, this one's weird. because it wasn't even launched when it was already deep in the red. Like, with losses estimated of over 170 million. Outlaws was supposed to be this open-world Star Wars smuggler game, but between dev delays, bloated scope, and Ubisoft being Ubisoft, the budget ballooned like a hut with a credit card. The game features scope creep, reboots, internal dev drama, all classic red flags. It launched, but selling only around 1 million copies instead of the 5 million needed to break even. Well, you can say the force was kinda shaky on this one. Oh boy, let's talk about the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Rocksteady Studios, the legends behind Arkham City, finally came back after years, and this is what we get. The trailers looked hype. The idea of taking down evil Justice League members sounded badass, and then it's a live service loot shooter with bullet sponge Superman. You could feel the collective "bro, what the hell" from every DC fan at once. The gameplay felt like a generic shooter with superhero skins, and even die-hard fans bailed fast. Reviews dunked on it, sales flopped, and Warner Brothers reportedly took a $200 million hit. Justice was definitely not served. Concord takes the number 2 spot. This is so new that it's still burning. It dropped its first trailer in 2024, and everyone said the same thing. Is this just Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with Overwatch, but somehow worse? This was Sony trying to jump into the hero shooter scene, but with zero originality. Just bland vibes, off-brand designs, and that awkward humor no one asked for. People clowned it on socials, the hype died immediately, and it's already being written off as Sony's mega expensive mistake. Like $300 million for a game nobody's checking for? They should have really refunded the investors immediately. And above all, we have Star Citizen, aka the most expensive beta in history. I mean, is it even a failure? It hasn't technically launched, but like, come on. They've raised $800 million in crowdfunding since 2012, and you still can't play a finished game. Ships cost more than real cars, performance is janky, features keep getting pushed back, and Chris Roberts? That man is building the Galaxy one PowerPoint at a time. At this point, it's not a game, it's a lifestyle, a meme, a digital Ponzi scheme with great graphics, and yet, people keep giving it money. So yeah, Star Citizen wins! Not because it failed once, but because it's been failing successfully for over a decade. And that's the list of the costliest, biggest video game blunders ever. If you like this video, subscribe, we got more where this came from. And thanks for watching.